Thanks for being here today. We're talking about Commumity today, with the tokens QAAA and QGold Quorium. How did you get in the gold business? How did you start?
Born and raised in the Netherlands. In the meantime, 55 years old, and I left the Netherlands towards Africa. I ended up in Sierra Leone. I started there in the mining business, the diamond mining business, and after a few years in the production, we switched to prospecting and exploration. So what we do is getting concessions, which hold potential natural resources. And through a process which is called NI 43-101, we bring these natural resources up to a proven asset. And then we make a digital representation out of this asset, and so that you get a tokenized value, and we put that on the balance sheet.
Okay, that's really interesting. What is the difference between Commumity and Quorium?
Well, Commodity is the company name. Quorium is one of our tokens, which has a ticker QGold. The purpose of QGold is a real stable coin which can be used as a different solution than, for example, USDT. And next to that, our other token is the QAAA, which is a growth token where we put more and more resources behind. So people who want to grow with the value of the company and don't want to use it as a universal unit of transfer, like, for example, Quorium as a stable coin, they can invest in QAAA and make a nice profit towards the future.
Okay, so the Quorium follows the gold price, and Commodity grows with the company.
Yeah, the QAAA is loaded with more resources. So what we do is on a continuous basis is that we gain these kind of assets. We bring them up through the NI 43-101 process. It's not only gold; it's also gold. So it's a broad scala of broad range of natural resources that can also even include water resources. So all these values of these resources, we put that behind QAAA, and when it comes to gold, we mint for those resources. When they are in addition, we mint new Quorium and QGold in order to have a universal unit of transfer.
Okay. Thank you for explaining that. Where do you want to be with the company in 3 to 5 years?
We are exponentially growing on the acquisition of these resources. We now also got into a strategic partnership with Astaria Capital, young guys, absolute professionals who have broad platforms towards all the possibilities in the financial industry. They are assisting us now also with the liquidation of our assets. So they are helping us with the access to all the financial platforms that they have, also on the institutional side, but also on the retail side. Very interesting for them, obviously, because we have fast resources that we can turn into liquidity and bring this liquidity to the exchanges, where the exchanges are looking for this solution. And for us, it's extremely interesting to have them on our side for also the treasury challenges that we have, because the resources that we get liquid, it doesn't mean that those amounts of cash which are coming available can immediately go back into the natural resource, because on the moment that we have, for example, a resource of 200 million in gold, then we mint, in that case, 100,000 new Quorium. We bring that liquidity to the exchange. And out of this 200 million, we take 5 million, for example, we turn that into fiat, and we create another 200 million. So the cash which is still there, it's going into treasury, and we need specialists like the guys of Astaria to place that capital and to make it grow.
Very interesting. Yeah, we met the guys from Astaria as well, staying in Bono and Marine. They're really interesting. They're really interesting guys. They're really professional. They have a good vision, and they're doing really well. So I think that's a good decision to make a strategic alliance with them. Why should people use QGold as a stablecoin instead of USDT, Tether?
Yeah, well, USDT is a little bit of a funny product. I think, at least. There's a commercial company who made a digital representation out of the United States dollar, which is a currency, obviously, of the United States. I don't think that Putin would think that it's so nice when I going to create a digital ruble this afternoon.
Yeah.
So probably he's going to call me. But besides that, it's still a fiat representation. And most of the people who are getting into crypto, they want to get out of the fiat system into the crypto as a hedge. So in USDT, obviously, it's the United States dollar. They grew exponentially, so the market cap currently is about 83 billion USDTs. That would mean that also there should be 83 billion USDT somewhere on a bank account. And some people are doubting that over the past few years. So that's the second issue. And then you see that a lot of people want to get a hedge somewhere. And Quorium is exactly that hedge. So Quorium is a digital representation of gold. So people who want to get into this as a stable coin, it means they are out of the fiat system and they are into the hedge that they are looking for.
Yeah, I completely agree, because I've heard some stories as well that Tether is only backed by like 35% of the whole 33 billion. Do you believe the gold price will grow also? Because then the hedge would be even better.
Yes, the gold price will also exponentially rise. But it's not really that the gold price is rising. It means that you have a decline of the fiat currency, basically. So I'm predicting this already for quite some time. I definitely think that gold will end up in a few years' time somewhere between 10 and 15,000 on a troy ounce, which is currently 2,000. But that's not only based upon the normal growth of or the development of the gold price. I'm truly convinced that there will be a re-evaluation, a recalculation of the gold price and the gold reserves, which is mainly held by central banks and governments. So there are tremendous deficits. Obviously, you know, the fiat money supply grew up to crazy heights. So they need to find somewhere a connection again. And on the moment that they would allow the gold price to rise, they are going to solve a tremendous problem on their balance sheets. And that's absolutely something that's going to happen. So yeah, in the next few years, I foresee that it will go to 10 to 15,000 on a troy ounce.
Wow. So that's a really nice growth, because we're at 2,000 now, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. If I want to buy some QGold, where can I do that?
QGold is currently listed on the exchange XT. So it's available there. The QAAA is available on this moment on LBank, and both tokens will be listed on multiple exchanges. But we see a tremendous interest in everything that has to do with Quorium and QGold, and that has to do with that a lot of people who are currently, for example, in USDT, and looking to get out of the fiat system and find a real hedge on the side of a real asset, which is gold, obviously, still the main driver, that people will step out of USDT and get into Quorium and gold. Yeah.
Yes, Edwin, it was not the first time that we met. I'm actually more interested in the thought behind Quorium. Why did you start? Because you were living in Sierra Leone and you saw a lot of poverty there. And what is the legacy that you want to leave behind?
Yes. Well, time is limited in this
Yeah.
podcast, but it's not a problem. But yeah, I'm living, working, probably going to die in Africa, and in the meantime, I married Africa.
Yeah.
My first contact was indeed Sierra Leone. Then you see the extreme poverty of people there. When you see children die because they don't have $10 to go to a medical clinic, that is horrible. And I really think that people should get access to the wealth that they have.
Yeah.
So what happened with Commodity is that our company was valued in 2019 on $5 billion US. That is based on the resources that we hold in Sierra Leone. It's crazy that value is higher than the GDP of the country itself. So what should happen is that the people of these African countries would get access to the monetary value of the resources that they have. And that's something that Commodity has a solution for.
We'll put some links underneath the video to help people find their way in buying the coins. And I wanted to thank you for today. Thank you for being here.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank
Thank you very much for the opportunity that I had today to tell of who we are and what we're doing.